What is up, people of the internet? This is Brownstone and Luke Catwalker coming to you with another review! Yeah, unlike Pongo's Recap, which only did reviews occasionally, we're gonna try and do reviews more often. Yeah. Luck. This movie's a thing. Yeah, it's definitely a thing. And because it's a trending topic recently, Brownstone and I have decided to get our acts together and actually review this thing. Because normally when we make videos, here's a funny story. Normally when we make videos, the topic is already past trending, and so that's why we don't get the necessary views. Now, we probably won't get much views on this video either, but hey, we could try. Yeah, we definitely can try. And with this film, we actually have quite a few things to say, but we're not going to say them. Because for the first time ever in Ad Producer channel history, we're gonna do, or at least try to do, a spoiler-free review. Normally with these reviews, they are very spoiler-heavy. And I don't want to spoil this film. I mean, except for what we think of it. Yeah, there'll be like a couple of minor things they'll be pointing out, but other than that, it'll be pretty spoiler-free. Yeah, so yeah, we won't be spoiling too many characters. Or that we're just gonna point out general stuff about this film, what we liked and stuff, and hopefully that'll encourage you to see it, because this film has gotten some pretty negative reviews, and us being the contrarians that we are, we liked it. Yeah, in spite of what the majority of people will tell you, this film is actually pretty cool. I mean, it's not a masterpiece like other animated films are. I mean, if we put it on par with some of the greatest animated films that we've seen, this film doesn't hold up. But in terms of its own contained thing, and in terms of viewing it, putting expectations aside, what this film set out to do, it succeeded. It tells a story about this girl named Sam lives in an orphanage, and she's the unluckiest person in the world, and she stumbles upon the land of luck. It's sort of like this Alice in Wonderland type story, you know, She meets this black cat. Name is Bob, and the cat's name is Bob. The cat's name is Bob. Yeah, it's a pretty basic name for a cat, but it's not a bad name by any means. So we kind of like it, but it's kind of on the generic side, especially compared to the main character's name, Sam. And that sounds kind of generic too, but it kind of works. Because Sam can be both a boy and a girl's name, so it's kind of so it kind of has some nuance there. Bob, not so much. But with that aside, before this turns into a lecture on naming and Bob, let's move on. So this film is supposed to be like the first film for this new studio, Skydance Animation. Is that what it's called? Skydance Animation? Yeah, I think it's Skydance Animation. And it's a direct-to-streaming movie, so it wasn't released in theaters, at least not to our knowledge. It was released directly onto their streaming platform, Apple TV+. And for a streaming film, it's actually really good. I mean, compared to what a lot of direct-to-streaming films end up being, I mean, with Chip 'n Dale being an example, Chip 'n Dale was actually pretty good, but it's not that good. I think the movie's kind of overhyped because Ugly Sonic. Yeah, Ugly Sonic totally stole the show. By itself, like the cameos and stuff, and the references, it's all really smart, but there's really not much nuance going on in the film. We always look for nuance. There's nuance here, and you gotta look for it. Like this film is one of those films which the way you should see it is it's a popcorn flick. Like, you should, like, enjoy it, turn your brain off and stuff, because it's sort of like this, girl stumbles upon this, mystical land and stuff. But if you want to watch it with your brain on, you can do that too, because there's a lot to be analyzed here. Such as with Sam's character arc throughout the film, Bob's character arc, and the other characters too. Also, there's this one pink dragon that looks like a pink recolor of Sisu from Ryan the Last Dragon. Yeah. Sisu totally made the talking dragon trend for us. So whenever we see a giant talking dragon in media, we're always going to compare them to Sisu. Disney did it first, guys. Always remember. Right. Brownstone, I think the audience would appreciate it if you stopped putting Disney references in a non-Disney movie review. Oh, sorry. Anywho, yeah, comparisons aside, the dragon's name is Babe. Yeah, the naming is kind of weird in this film. There's this unicorn named Jeff. I'm not gonna question it. It's a different dimension. Let's roll with it. But yeah, spectacular animation, fantastic character work, because like Sam's arc to this film is learning to accept her bad luck. And the way the film ends, it doesn't end the way traditional movies would end. Like, yeah, it has kind of cliches and stuff, but the way it ends is is actually very unique. Really unique. So I'm not gonna spoil what the ending is, but it really caught us all by surprise, indeed. And while comparisons can be drawn between the Book of Life and this film, because the Book of Life movie and this film it does draw some similar premises. I mean, we have some different realms here, like the Land of Luck, the Land of Bad Luck, and the in-between world and stuff. So it's kind of, how do we say this without delving in the spoilers? I don't know. Honestly, it's much easier to do spoiler reviews. But yeah, I think they really take things to like a unique level here. We do have some cliche stuff. Well, with like leprechaun costumes and stuff. Leprechaun costumes probably seen in the marketing. There's also a lot of green that was featured in the marketing, because of course green luck and stuff. But it's more than what it is on the surface level. Oh, like personally, we like the kind of stories that have these that have this kind of nuance. I mean, when you have this character that is unlucky and stuff, because it sounds pretty basic, but there's actually a lot of things you can do with a character that's perpetually unlucky. And I think the way they handled it here, while it may not have been the best, it was actually pretty enjoyable. This is sort of like another Wonder Park scenario in which many people were disappointed because it did not live up to expectations. But I think this film works better by turning your expectations off. I mean, this is a new studio. So they're not gonna pump out the best. They're testing the waters and stuff. This is sort of like, as I was gonna mention earlier, this is like a comeback story for John Lasseter, who was the pioneer of Pixar and stuff, and pioneered the best Pixar films and stuff. And well, something happened I'm not gonna mention because I don't want this video to get taken down. But basically, the guy got disgraced, and now he's running his own animation studio. And another review that we watched of this movie kind of pointed out something interesting, that John Lasseter's like predicament kind of soured public perception on this film, considering that he's the head of this studio. And while we can see that, we like to separate the art from the artist, as we mentioned before, through our misguided Amber Heard campaign, which we came to regret much later. Later. But we'll probably make another video as to how we messed up big time with that campaign and in the future. But assuming that statement doesn't tune you guys out of the review, this film is really great. Hey, it really is. May not be the best animated film of all time, but it's actually really, really great. It's got a fantastic story about family and accepting yourself and that sort of thing. And we always love those kinds of themes in films, because like a lot of people have bad luck. Yeah, a lot of people may feel like they have the worst luck in the world. Hey, sometimes we feel like we have the worst luck in the world, especially with this YouTube channel nowadays. But this film was a good reminder to always look on the bright side and focus on things that matter to you. And like you focus on things that matter to you, people the people around you that matter to you. You should focus on who you love and try to help them. If you can't give yourself good luck, try to give others good luck. Try to help others get the chance that you may not have been offered. I think that's a fantastic message that this film preaches. Yeah, it looks kind of dumb on the surface. It's Alice in Wonderland ripoff and stuff, and it's come from a relatively new studio. But ultimately, I think this film shines in more ways than one. It's got fantastic animation. Once again, we are absolutely in love with 3D animation. I know people are nostalgic for 2D, and 2D is great too. Heck, The Lion King is a shining example, the original. But 3D animation, aka CGI animation, is actually a really great medium to work with, and I'm so glad that these days a lot of films are being pumped out in 3D animation, because there's a lot you can do with 3D animation that you just can't do with 2D. And so with a fantastic visual style, amazing character work, and a story that will touch any person that's going through the kind of situations that Sam goes through, I think this film can speak to a lot of people. When you pick apart the negative reviews and stuff, it really comes down to, oh, this is headed by John Lasseter, this guy and stuff, who is basically a disgraced figure in the entertainment industry now. Now, it's kind of like if Joss Whedon started his own movie studio after his disastrous performance with Justice League. I'm sorry, Justice League. But, yeah. So, yeah, if that happened, would we see a movie like that? Considering how he treated the actors on the set of the 2017 theatrical cut, I don't know. I mean, Phil Mental said it best.
If Joss Whedon still wants to have a career after this, whatever he does next better be something really impressive.
I think the problem here is not with the movie, but with people's perceptions of it. Yeah. Once again, it comes down to fan expectations being too high. Like, people look at the guy's track record and they're like, oh, he must come out with something amazing. Referring to John Lasseter, not Joss Whedon, but he must come out with something amazing. And then when this film comes out and it doesn't satisfy everyone's expectations, they rate it negatively. Not to mention with the guy's public image at this point is not the best. There are two camps of people that hate this movie. One of them, like, they just don't like the movie, and another camp is like affected by John Lasseter's public perception. So with that in mind, is there any excuse for the film not satisfying people's expectations? I say yes, because this is a new studio. Yeah, John Lasseter has a huge track record of making really great masterpieces and stuff. He has he directed Toy Story after all, but does every film have to be as deep and complex as Toy Story? I don't think so. I mean, I think it would make more sense if we had varying degrees of nuance and complexity. While nuance and complexity is a very, very, very great element, and this film certainly possesses a lot of that. It possesses it in a different way. Instead of being outright with the themes and stuff, it buries them kind of beneath the surface, underneath the surface level adventure and stuff. And you have to really think to really see the nuances here. Like we have some obvious references to the theme here, like with Sam's home life or Bob's backstory. Oh dear, spoilers, and a lot of other things. But there are also subtle hints here and there, very, very, very beneath the surface. this isn't your average, ordinary talking animals, magical world film and stuff. It's way more complex than that. And to anyone who happens to stumble upon this very unprofessional review, or people who wanna just, hey, click on this video, I hope this review kind of, well, convinced you to give this film a second chance. Because while we didn't try and spoil things with this movie, because we're trying out spoiler-free reviews, we don't want to stick to just one type of review, which is always spoiler-filled. We're testing the waters of spoiler-free reviews. It's kind of like what Skydance Animation is doing with this film. They're releasing their first animated film, and we're kind of testing the waters of new content as well. So, yeah, go give this film a watch. If you want to support a new studio that's just coming out of the woodworks, and you want to separate the art from the artist, and you think this film looks cool from the marketing and trailers, go see it. If you are someone who takes the critical reviews on Rotten Tomatoes as gospel, and you want something on the level, oh, and as iconic as Toy Story, this film may not be for you. It's definitely going for a different style of nuance, and that's something that doesn't always sit well with everyone, because instead of being outright with the themes as we stated, it kind of buries them beneath the surface of this adventure, and you have to follow the characters to really get the themes. It's kind of this like subtlety that this film kind of possesses, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah, to add to Brownstone's point, right, this film may not look like much from the trailers and stuff, but it's worth your time. It's worth your money. It's worth paying for the service if you want to. Because if you're interested in paying for the service, well, this film could be your opportunity to explore what the service has to offer. For a direct-to-streaming movie, it's really, really good. So, yeah, if that's enticing, if you hear about so many direct-to-streaming films being mediocre or average, and you hear our review saying that it's really good, well, then go give it a watch. If you're not interested in paying for Apple TV Plus whatsoever, and you want to beg your parents and stuff, I'm not saying this film will win you over, but it's arguably a really fun time and a really great experience, and it has a message that'll touch all audiences. So yeah, maybe I'm wrong there. So yeah, let's we'll give this film let's see, an 8 out of 10. Not a 9, not a 9.5, an 8 out of 10. Because it's not anything Snyder Cut level. It's not anything huge or groundbreaking like Into the Spider-Verse. But as its own thing, it's really spectacular. I honestly think this film will grow with audiences over time. Oh, almost definitely. I think in 10 years, like, if it doesn't become a cult classic in 10 years, you guys can say, we told you so, it was bad. But personally, my prediction is that this will become a cult classic in 10 years. Like, a lot of films that were negatively reviewed in the past have gone on to become fan favorites. So, yeah, maybe this film will stand the test of time. Who knows? All we're saying is that it's really deep and complex, and it also has a fun adventure, an extremely likable and kind protagonist, and it's great characters, fantastic animation, and a distinct visual style. This film is definitely for you. So, with that being said, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to be updated on future content. With that being said, we shall see you all later. Psych, that's the wrong number! Yeah, this isn't actually the end of the review. If you're checking the timestamp, yeah, this actually isn't the end of the review. I just wanted to add a little, tidbit here. Like, this isn't really related to the movie, kinda, but, just a little announcement. Thank you all for watching this video. This video actually was kind of rushed out last minute because we wanted to do more reviews, and also, Luck is trending right now, as Luke and I mentioned. So, yeah, we wanted to capitalize on it before it faded into oblivion, like the majority of the topics we cover got covered by the time our videos come out. So, yeah, because we saw it was trending, we immediately got to work, and because of that, I don't know how the quality of this review will look. I mean, it was so rushed that we didn't have time to really find the Lex soundtrack in post, so we just did our default Animal Farm soundtrack. But yeah, we actually think, as I said, we actually think that this film's really good. You should see it. So yeah, this wasn't part of our original catalog, so we added it to the August 14th spot. It's gonna come out on August 14th by the time this video comes out. That's when it's gonna come out. So yeah, we wanted the video to fill up the August 14th spot, so this is it. So by the time you guys will be seeing this video, it'll be the 14th of August. With that being said, again, thank you so much for watching, and if this review inspires you to see the film, great. If it doesn't, well, that's great too. Everyone's opinions is welcome. Except for toxic people. Because nobody likes those. So yeah, if you want to be smart and if you want to be civil and constructive with your criticism or opinions, then feel free to hop down to the comments and discuss the film with me. Because I would love to talk about this film in spoilers. Because there was a lot that we wanted to say that we didn't say in this review because we wanted to cut for time. But for what it's worth, this film's really good and you should definitely see it. With that being said, again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe to be updated on future content, and we will see you all in the next video. I promise no more That's the Wrong Number after this.